Hey, fellow stargazers, have you ever looked up at the night sky and wondered about those bright moving lights? What if one of them wasn't just any shooting star, but an actual celestial visitor making its return after decades? Imagine witnessing a cosmic event that only happens once in a lifetime. Sounds like a dream, right? Well, Halley's Comet is exactly that, a dazzling streak across the sky that's visible once every 76 years. So have you ever seen it? Or would you like to? Let's dive into the story of this incredible comet. Halley's Comet. Hey there, stargazers. Let me ask you a question. Have you ever looked up at the night sky and wondered about those bright moving lights? Maybe you've caught a glimpse of one and thought, is that a shooting star? Well, what if I told you that what you saw could have been one of the most famous celestial objects, Halley's Comet? Halley's Comet isn't just your average comet, it's a celestial traveler that graces us with its presence only once every 76 years. Imagine that. It's like the ultimate cosmic guest that pops in for a visit, leaves an unforgettable impression, and then vanishes, only to return many decades later. If you're lucky, you'll catch a glimpse of it just once in your lifetime. I mean, how wild is that? But here's where it gets even more interesting. Unlike other comets that fly by Earth and fade into the void, Halley's Comet is different. It's the only comet that's visible to the naked eye from Earth without the need for a telescope or binoculars. That means everyone, no matter where you are, can witness this dazzling spectacle when it swings by. Sounds like something straight out of a science fiction movie, right? Now, imagine what it would have been like hundreds of years ago, before we understood anything about space. A strange object flying across the sky, changing its shape and glowing with an eerie light. People back then might have thought it was a sign from the gods or a harbinger of doom. And yet, even today, we're still in awe of its magnificent return. So whether you're a seasoned skywatcher or someone who's just starting to look up, let's dive into the story of Halley's Comet. I promise you, this is one cosmic journey you won't want to miss. The man behind the name. Alright, here's a fun twist. Halley's Comet isn't actually named after the comet itself, but rather a guy who was absolutely obsessed with the stars. Let me introduce you to Edmund Halley, an English astronomer with a mind as sharp as a comet's tail. Back in the 17th century, Halley was already known for his work in science and astronomy. But it was in 1705 that he made a groundbreaking realization that would forever change our understanding of comets. He figured out that 3 comets that had been spotted over several decades, 1531, 1607, and 1682, were all the same comet making a return trip every 76 years. Imagine the sheer genius it took to connect those dots. This was a major aha moment in the world of astronomy. Now Halley didn't just stop there. He did what any true visionary would do. He predicted that the comet would return in 1758. And guess what? He was absolutely right. When the comet showed up exactly when he said it would, the entire scientific community went wild. This was a huge victory for Halley, and for the field of astronomy. But here's the kicker. Edmund Halley didn't live long enough to see his prediction come true. He passed away in 1742, 16 years before the comet's return. Yet his name lived on, forever tied to this spectacular celestial visitor. In honor of his brilliance, the comet was named after him, cementing his legacy as one of the great pioneers in our understanding of the universe. Can you imagine how thrilled he would have been to see his prediction validated? It's a testament to the power of curiosity and the drive to understand the cosmos. What's even more fascinating is how one person's insight can change the course of history. And today, we're still marveling at his discovery every time Halley's Comet returns to our skies. Orbit and composition. Alright, now let's get into the really fascinating part. Halley's Comet doesn't just casually wander around the solar system. It follows a highly elliptical orbit, taking it on an incredible, almost heart-pounding journey through space. And get this, its orbit is so wide and elongated that it swings from the very edge of the solar system, near Neptune, all the way into the inner reaches, past Mercury. That's a distance of billions of kilometers. Can you even begin to imagine the scale of that? The comet's journey is a wild ride, with it spending most of its time way out beyond the orbits of the planets, where the sun's light barely touches. But when Halley's Comet gets close to the sun, it starts to heat up. And that's when the real magic happens. Its icy nucleus begins to release gases and dust, forming a glowing coma and that spectacular tail we all know and love. This tail is one of the most iconic features of Halley's Comet. It can stretch for millions of kilometers, but here's the crazy part. That tail never points towards the sun. Instead, it always points away from it. It's as if the sun's solar winds push the dust and gas away, creating a shimmering, glowing trail that marks its passage across the heavens. What's even more mind-blowing is how long this comet takes to complete its full orbit. Halley's Comet takes about 76 years to make one complete lap around the sun. That means that the next time it returns, it will be like a whole new generation getting a chance to witness its magnificence for the first time. It's like the universe is giving us a rare gift, one we can't take for granted. And here's where it gets even more personal. Imagine being able to witness something that will only happen once in your lifetime. That's what makes Halley's Comet so special. It's not just a passing star in the sky, but a visitor that reminds us of the vastness of the universe and our tiny place within it. Can you imagine watching that glowing tail light up the sky in a way no other celestial body can? Historical significance and cultural impact. But wait, Halley's Comet is so much more than just a bright streak across the sky. It's been part of human history for thousands of years. People have been recording sightings of this cosmic visitor since ancient times, and it's been woven into the fabric of various cultures, sometimes seen as an omen, other times as a symbol of wonder. The earliest recorded sighting of Halley's Comet dates back to 240 BC in China. Back then, people didn't have telescopes, so they relied on their eyes to spot the comet as it streaked across the sky. And it wasn't just the Chinese who noticed. Ancient cultures across the world kept track of this celestial traveler. In 1066, the Bayeux Tapestry famously depicted Halley's Comet, linking it to the Norman conquest of England. How cool is that? A comet marking a significant historical event. For centuries, people saw Halley's Comet as a sign, something bigger than themselves, something connected to divine or cosmic forces. In the medieval era, its appearance was often seen as a warning of disaster, a harbinger of death, or an omen of change. Imagine the fear and awe it must have inspired back then. People didn't have the scientific knowledge we do today, so they would have viewed the comet with both wonder and fear. It was a reminder that the universe was vast, unpredictable, and sometimes even terrifying. But over time, as our understanding of the cosmos grew, Halley's Comet transformed from a mysterious omen to a fascinating object of study. Scientists like Edmund Halley, and countless others after him, turned it into a symbol of curiosity and scientific progress. It became proof that with careful observation and study, we could unlock the secrets of the universe. In a way, Halley's Comet has become a metaphor for human progress, something we can't control but can certainly understand. Even today, Halley's Comet holds a special place in our hearts and minds. Every time it reappears, it serves as a reminder of our shared history, our thirst for knowledge, and the magic that comes with looking up at the sky. Isn't it fascinating how one comet, one simple streak of light, can bring so many different meanings to so many different people across time and space? Space missions and scientific discoveries. Now, let's take things to the next level. Halley's Comet isn't just a distant object we admire from Earth. In fact, it's been the subject of intense scientific interest, and some truly remarkable space missions have been launched to get a closer look at this cosmic traveler. In 1986, Halley's Comet became the first comet to be visited by a spacecraft, and the story of that journey is nothing short of incredible. The European Space Agency sent the Giotto spacecraft to get a close-up of the comet's nucleus. Imagine this, a spacecraft, hurtling through space, aiming directly for the heart of a fast-moving comet. The mission was risky, and the chances of success were slim, but Giotto defied the odds and made history by flying within 600 kilometers of Halley's Comet. The images and data Giotto sent back were groundbreaking. For the first time, scientists saw Halley's nucleus up close, a dirty snowball-like object made of ice and dust. The data revealed that the nucleus was about 15 kilometers across and covered in craters. Scientists also found that the comet's surface was covered in a dark material, possibly organic compounds. These findings were a huge step forward in understanding comets and, by extension, the building blocks of our solar system. The Giotto mission wasn't the only one. Other spacecraft, like NASA's Deep Space One and Japan's Suisei, also had their eyes on Halley's Comet, contributing to a wealth of knowledge about its composition and behavior. Each of these missions helped scientists piece together the history of comets as remnants of the early solar system, objects that have been around for billions of years, holding secrets to the origins of our planet. What's even more exciting is that Halley's Comet continues to spark new questions and discoveries. With every new mission and observation, we learn a little more about these ancient travelers, and who knows? The next time Halley's Comet returns, we might be able to send even more advanced technology to get an even clearer view of this cosmic marvel. When will it return? So, now you're probably wondering, when can we expect this cosmic visitor to return? Well, Halley's Comet has a regular schedule of sorts. Its orbit is like clockwork, predictable yet staggeringly long. The next time it will grace our skies is in 2061. That's right, if we're lucky, we'll all get another chance to witness this awe-inspiring spectacle. I know, 2061 feels like forever away, but think about this for a second. Halley's Comet only comes around once every 76 years. That means if you've seen it once, you've had an experience that most people will never get in their lifetimes. It's a cosmic gift that feels almost like a once-in-a-lifetime chance to witness something truly spectacular. Now you might be wondering, what will it look like when it returns? Well, experts say that Halley's Comet will likely appear brighter and more vivid than ever before. It'll be visible to the naked eye, just like it has been during past returns. But the most exciting part? The comet will pass much closer to Earth than it has in previous visits. In 1986, it was about 87 million kilometers away. In 2061, it will pass by at only about 60 million kilometers. That's a pretty big difference, and it means that Halley's Comet will be one of the brightest objects in our night sky. But here's the kicker. This might be the only time in many of our lifetimes that we get to see it at such a close distance. For those of us who don't catch it in 2061, we won't be around to see its next return in 2013-4. So mark your calendars, folks. Because Halley's Comet isn't just any celestial body, it's an event that will make history once again. Will you be part of it? Just imagine the thrill of standing under the night sky, watching Halley's Comet streaking across the heavens. It'll be a moment of connection, not just with the cosmos, but with generations of skywatchers who've witnessed the same incredible sight. That's what makes Halley's Comet more than just a comet. It's a timeless reminder that the universe is vast, and we're lucky enough to be a part of it. So there you have it, Halley's Comet, a cosmic traveler that continues to amaze us with every return. Who knows what discoveries await as it journeys through the vast expanse of space? Are you ready for its next visit? Let us know in the comments below. And if you love discovering the secrets of the universe, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more adventures here at Space Facts. In 1610, Galileo gazed through his telescope and unknowingly discovered a storm so colossal it could engulf 3 Earths. That storm, the Great Red Spot on Jupiter, has raged for over 350 years. A hurricane older than modern civilization spinning endlessly across the face of a gas giant. Scientists have studied it for centuries, and still its secrets remain locked in swirling mystery. We don't know how it began. We don't know why it's red. We don't even know why it won't die, so if you hovered above it, would you feel wonder or dread? Let's dive into the storm. What is the Great Red Spot? You've probably seen photos of Jupiter, massive, striped, mysterious. But what if I told you one of the planet's most iconic features is actually a storm so large it could swallow Earth 2, maybe 3 times over? Yeah, that giant reddish oval isn't just a pretty swirl, it's chaos, controlled chaos. They call it the Great Red Spot, but that name doesn't even come close to capturing what's going on. This isn't your average storm. It's a swirling beast, an anticyclonic tempest that's been howling in Jupiter's atmosphere for at least 350 years, and likely much longer. Spinning with winds exceeding 430 kilometers per hour, it sits in the planet's southern hemisphere like a never-ending wound in the sky. Unlike storms on Earth which form and vanish in days or weeks, this one refuses to die. Scientists believe it's trapped between powerful jet streams that feed its fury, keeping it spinning like a cosmic blender. Now here's where it gets weirder. Jupiter doesn't even have a solid surface. So this storm isn't slamming into any ground to slow it down, it's floating. A monstrous, hovering hurricane, powered by Jupiter's turbulent atmosphere and fed by dynamics we still don't fully understand. Think about that. Earth's fiercest storms are toddlers compared to this ancient planetary giant. How big is it? Let's break scale for a second. Earth has hurricanes, sure. But they're barely pimples next to this. At its largest, the Great Red Spot measured over 40,000 kilometers wide. That's more than 3 Earths, side by side, spinning around inside a single storm system. It was the kind of storm that made even veteran astronomers shake their heads in disbelief. But here's the twist. It's shrinking. Yup, this legendary vortex has been getting smaller over the last century. Current estimates say it's about 12,000 kilometers across, still massive, but a shadow of its former self. And it's not just shrinking, it's also changing shape. What was once a wide oval wound is slowly turning into a more circular form. No one knows exactly why. Could it be dying, evolving, or gearing up for something new? NASA's Hubble Space Telescope has been tracking it closely, and even that eye in the sky can't predict its fate. Every year brings new surprises, rips in its structure, blobs of gas breaking off, or sudden color shifts. It's like the storm is alive, rewriting its own story as we watch. So the next time you see a picture of Jupiter, remember, that red dot isn't just a dot, it's a mystery bigger than Earth, literally. Why is it red? Ever stared at Jupiter's great red spot and thought, why that color? I mean, it's not just red, it's deep, rusty, bloody red, the kind of shade that feels ancient. And what's wild is, scientists aren't even fully sure why. The truth? We don't have a definitive answer. And that's part of what makes this storm so maddeningly fascinating. Some researchers believe that chemicals in Jupiter's upper atmosphere, like ammonia and acetylene, get blasted by ultraviolet light from the sun. That intense solar radiation could trigger chemical reactions, creating complex substances known as chromophores, which reflect red and orange hues. Basically, sunlight is cooking Jupiter's atmosphere like a chemical stew, and the great red spot is what bubbles to the surface. But here's where it gets even more bizarre. Sometimes the color changes. Over the decades, astronomers have observed it appear lighter, darker, or more orange-toned. That suggests something dynamic is happening, either at the cloud tops or even deeper in Jupiter's chaotic atmosphere. One theory hints that we're not seeing the storm's real color at all, just a stained upper layer, like tinted glass hiding the real storm beneath. It's a mystery wrapped in science, cloaked in clouds. And the more instruments we point at it, from Hubble to Juno, the more questions arise. What if the Great Red Spot is trying to tell us something about Jupiter's chemistry that we've missed entirely? The color might be a clue, or it might be a cosmic red herring. How did it form? The craziest thing about the Great Red Spot, no one knows exactly how it began. Think about that. We've been staring at this storm since the 1600s, and its origin story is still shrouded in gas, chaos, and theory. Some scientists say it started when multiple smaller storms merged, like angry tempests colliding to become one massive superstorm. Others believe it emerged from the wild dynamics between Jupiter's fierce jet streams, which tore open a hole in the sky and gave birth to a monster. Jupiter's atmosphere is layered, fast, and unstable. It's a planet made of swirling gases rotating at breakneck speeds, with no solid surface to ground anything. So when a disturbance happens, it doesn't just fizzle, it spins, strengthens, and gets sucked into the rhythm of the planet itself. The Great Red Spot might have formed when one such disturbance just refused to die. Instead, it locked into a powerful zone between opposing winds like a spinning top caught in an endless tug of war, and the storm's anticyclonic nature, meaning it spins opposite the planet's rotation, makes it even more stable. Instead of fading out, it dug in, for centuries. Some even speculate that the storm could predate our telescopic observations, meaning it might have been there longer than modern science has existed. It's not just a storm, it's a survivor. Is it shrinking or changing? You wouldn't expect something this massive, this ancient, to change, but it is. In fact, the Great Red Spot is shrinking, and fast. Back in the 1800s it spanned more than 40,000 kilometers across. Today, just around 12,000 kilometers. That's like watching a continent-sized hurricane collapse down to the size of a country. And yet, despite this dramatic reduction, the storm is somehow holding on, refusing to disappear entirely. But size isn't the only thing shifting. The shape is changing too, becoming more rounded, less stretched. Even stranger, scientists have spotted chunks of the storm peeling off, forming smaller vortices that break away like sparks from a fire. Some experts call it storm flaking, while others think it's the red spot fighting to stabilize itself. Either way, it's like watching a giant creature shed its skin in slow motion. In 2019, observers saw a series of mysterious blades or extensions protruding from the storm's core, like arms reaching out before quickly pulling back. And while some predicted the storm's imminent death, data from the Juno spacecraft showed something shocking. Beneath the visible layers, the red spot is deeper than we thought, up to 300 kilometers into Jupiter's atmosphere. So while the top might look like it's fading, the roots, still powerful, still fierce. Maybe it's not dying, maybe it's evolving, adapting, or hiding its true power deeper inside where our instruments can barely reach. What lies beneath? What's happening beneath the swirling clouds of the Great Red Spot? While the storm itself is incredible to observe from above, scientists are just as curious about what's going on beneath the surface. Thanks to NASA's Juno spacecraft, which has been orbiting Jupiter since 2016, we now have some incredible data about the depth of the storm. For years, researchers believed that the Great Red Spot was only a feature of Jupiter's upper atmosphere, but Juno's data has revealed something more surprising. It turns out that the storm extends deep into the planet's atmosphere, up to 300 to 500 kilometers beneath the clouds. But what's really happening down there? That's still a bit of a mystery. The Great Red Spot's depth suggests that it's not just a surface-level phenomenon, it's a massive atmospheric feature that penetrates deep into Jupiter's layers. Some scientists think that the storm's depth might be related to the planet's internal heat, which could play a role in powering the storm. Jupiter's heat source is still not fully understood, but it seems that the planet's intense internal energy helps sustain the storm's immense size and strength. Additionally, this deep penetration could be affecting the dynamics of the entire atmosphere, creating a feedback loop that keeps the storm going. What else might lie beneath? Jupiter's atmospheric layers are still largely unexplored, and the Great Red Spot may hold clues to understanding the planet's deeper atmospheric and internal processes. As Juno continues to send back more data, scientists hope to gain a clearer picture of the forces that drive the Great Red Spot and the broader atmospheric dynamics of Jupiter. The more we learn about what's happening below the surface, the better we'll understand not only Jupiter's weather, but also how other gas giants in our solar system, and possibly even exoplanets, might behave. What are scientists discovering now? When NASA's Juno spacecraft arrived at Jupiter, it didn't just snap pretty photos. It pulled back the curtain. What it revealed beneath the Great Red Spot left scientists stunned. This isn't just a surface storm, it plunges hundreds of kilometers deep, swirling through Jupiter's layers like a spinning skyscraper of wind. Think about that. Our storms float in the sky. Jupiter's storms dig into the planet itself. Juno detected gravitational anomalies as it flew over the red spot, indicating mass and density variations deep below the clouds. It's as if the storm has a skeleton, a complex internal structure that anchors it in place. And then, there are the atmospheric waves, strange ripples of energy moving outward from the storm like it's broadcasting its presence across the planet. No one expected to find those. Even more shocking, instruments have picked up heat signatures from deep inside, suggesting something energetic is brewing beneath the visible layers. Combine that with data from the James Webb Space Telescope, and you get a picture that's more alien than we ever imagined. Layers of gas rotating at different speeds, chemical reactions we can't fully simulate on Earth, and signs that the storm's power source may come from below, not just the sun. What's going on inside Jupiter might hold answers to how gas giants work, not just in our solar system but in distant exoplanets too. The Great Red Spot isn't just a curiosity anymore, it's a lab, a puzzle, and we're only beginning to crack it open. How does the Great Red Spot affect Jupiter's weather? Jupiter's Great Red Spot doesn't just sit there looking menacing, it plays a key role in the planet's complex weather system. While Earth's weather is driven by the sun, Jupiter's immense size and distance from our star create a very different dynamic. The Great Red Spot is one of the driving forces behind the planet's atmospheric movements, contributing to powerful jet streams and storm systems across the gas giant. But how does this massive storm influence the weather on a planet without a solid surface? The Great Red Spot interacts with Jupiter's fast-moving jet streams, creating areas of low and high pressure. These powerful wind patterns affect everything from the planet's cloud formations to the movement of its other massive storms. Some researchers believe that the storm's presence might even help stabilize Jupiter's atmosphere, keeping it in a constant state of flux, and preventing other, smaller storms from growing too powerful. Even though the Great Red Spot might be shrinking, its influence is still widespread. As scientists continue to study the planet's atmosphere, they are learning that this storm may be an integral part of how Jupiter's weather patterns maintain their unique characteristics. It's more than just a visual phenomenon. It's a crucial force that helps shape the very nature of Jupiter's chaotic skies. What we learn about the red spot could help us understand not only Jupiter but also how storms form on other gas giants, and even exoplanets we've yet to discover. Thanks for exploring the mystery of Jupiter's great red spot with us. Space isn't just out there, it's a mirror reflecting how little we truly know. Every swirling storm, every unexplained force reminds us that the universe is alive with secrets still waiting to be discovered. What do you think lies beneath that crimson vortex? Could it be more than just a storm? We'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below, and if you love discovering the secret of the universe, don't forget to like, subscribe to Space Facts, and hit the bell icon for more adventures. Just 4.2 light-years away, a planet orbits the closest star to our Sun, Proxima Centauri b. It sits in the habitable zone where temperatures might allow liquid water, and maybe, life. This isn't science fiction, it's one of our most promising hopes beyond Earth. For centuries we've asked, are we alone? Now a small rocky world near a red dwarf star keeps that question alive. If you could stand there, on alien soil under a dim red sky, would you feel wonder? Or the weight of possibility? Let's dive into the secrets of Proxima Centauri b, and what it could mean for our future. Proximity to Earth. What would it be like to live on another planet? Well, we might not need to venture too far to find a new world, because just over 4 light-years away from us is Proxima Centauri b. That's right, the closest exoplanet that might one day become humanity's potential second home. You might be thinking, 4 light-years, that's pretty far, but let's put it in perspective. If we were to travel to Proxima Centauri by using current technology, it would take us about 70,000 years. That's a seriously long road trip, but on the cosmic scale, it's actually relatively close. Proxima Centauri b orbits around Proxima Centauri, a red dwarf star that's located in the Alpha Centauri star system, the closest star system to our own Sun. While our Sun is a yellow dwarf star, red dwarfs like Proxima Centauri are much smaller and cooler, but they also burn their fuel for far longer. That means Proxima Centauri could keep its planet stable for billions of years, which is exactly what we want for a habitable planet. The proximity of Proxima Centauri b to Earth makes it a fascinating candidate for exploration, and thanks to our growing technological advancements, who knows, maybe one day we'll set foot on this distant world. The thing that makes Proxima Centauri b even more intriguing is that it's within reach compared to other exoplanets, which are often hundreds or even thousands of light-years away. So, while we can't pack our bags and go just yet, this planet offers a real hope for future generations to travel, study, and perhaps even live beyond our own home planet. Isn't that exciting? Location in the habitable zone. The most exciting part of Proxima Centauri b, its location in the habitable zone. You've probably heard this term before. It's often called the Goldilocks zone, and it's where conditions are just right for liquid water to exist on a planet's surface. Not too hot, not too cold. It's the perfect sweet spot for life to thrive. And guess what? Proxima Centauri b sits smack dab in the middle of this habitable zone. Being in the habitable zone is a game changer. It means that just like Earth, Proxima Centauri b could have liquid water on its surface, which is one of the key ingredients for life as we know it. Think about it. Water is essential for all known life forms, from the tiniest microbe to the largest mammals. So the fact that this planet is positioned at just the right distance from its star means it has the potential to harbor conditions that could support life. This is one of the primary reasons scientists are so eager to study Proxima Centauri b. It might not just be a planet, it could be the next big discovery in our search for extraterrestrial life. But it's not just about being in the habitable zone, it's about how Proxima Centauri b's orbit interacts with its star. Unlike Earth, which is in a stable orbit around the Sun, Proxima Centauri b's orbit is likely to be influenced by the intense stellar radiation from its red dwarf star. That's a challenge, and we'll talk more about how that affects its potential for habitability in the next sections. But for now, it's enough to say that being in the habitable zone gives Proxima Centauri b a huge advantage in the search for life beyond Earth. Could it be the place where life is waiting to be discovered? Only time will tell. Earth-like size and composition. So what makes Proxima Centauri b so fascinating? Its size and composition. Unlike the gas giants like Jupiter or Saturn, Proxima Centauri b is a rocky planet, much like Earth. It's about 1.3 times the mass of our home planet, which means it's large enough to have a solid surface but not so big that it would be a gas giant. This is a huge advantage because it means that, theoretically, Proxima Centauri b could have an atmosphere, oceans, and even land masses just like Earth does. Imagine a world that could resemble our own in some ways. It's like having a twin out there in the vast expanse of space. The fact that Proxima Centauri b is a rocky planet opens up so many possibilities. It could have similar geological features like mountains, valleys, and maybe even volcanoes. Its surface might be shaped by tectonic activity, just like on Earth, where the plates beneath our feet shift and create the continents and oceans. And speaking of oceans, Proxima Centauri b's Earth-like size means it could potentially have water in liquid form, which is crucial for life. The idea that a planet in our cosmic neighborhood could have a solid surface and liquid water makes Proxima Centauri b incredibly intriguing to scientists. They're excited to study the composition of the planet's surface, its possible atmosphere, and whether it could support life forms similar to what we have here. If Proxima Centauri b is truly Earth-like, it could also offer a glimpse into the types of conditions that make a planet habitable. The more we learn about it, the better we can understand what's needed for life to thrive on other worlds. The fact that this planet is rocky and roughly the size of Earth only adds to its allure as a potential new home for humanity, or at least a place to search for extraterrestrial life. Potential for liquid water. Let's dive into one of the most exciting aspects of Proxima Centauri b, the potential for liquid water. Water is the key ingredient for life as we know it, and for years, scientists have been on the lookout for planets that might have water in its liquid form on their surface. Proxima Centauri b, situated in the habitable zone of its star, could be one of those rare gems where liquid water could exist. Being in the habitable zone means that Proxima Centauri b is at the right distance from its star, not too close so that water would evaporate and not too far so that it would freeze. This perfect distance could allow the planet to have water in liquid form on its surface, which is essential for life. Picture vast oceans, rivers and lakes, just like here on Earth. And water doesn't just provide a home for life, it's also a key ingredient for maintaining an environment that could support complex ecosystems. It could even be the thing that makes this planet more Earth-like than we ever imagined. But there's more to this. The possibility of liquid water on Proxima Centauri b also depends on the planet's atmosphere, which we don't fully understand yet. If the planet has a thick atmosphere, it could create the right conditions for water to remain liquid on its surface, even if Proxima Centauri emits strong radiation. Without an atmosphere, the water would quickly evaporate or freeze, making the planet less likely to support life. That's why studying Proxima Centauri b's atmosphere is one of the biggest focuses for scientists. If they can determine that the planet has the right conditions, they'll be one step closer to answering the age-old question, are we alone in the universe? Tidally locked rotation. Let's take a moment to talk about something that makes Proxima Centauri b quite unique, its rotation. Unlike Earth, where day and night give us a rhythmic balance, Proxima Centauri b is likely tidally locked to its star. This means that one side of the planet is always facing the star, while the other side is in eternal darkness. It's a fascinating phenomenon that happens when a planet's orbit around its star syncs up with its rotation in such a way that it always shows the same face to the star. This tidally locked rotation can create some extreme conditions on Proxima Centauri b. On the side that faces its star, temperatures could soar to unimaginable heights, while the dark side would likely be freezing cold. These vast temperature differences would create unique weather patterns, possibly even powerful winds or atmospheric currents that move from the hot side to the cold side in an attempt to balance out the heat. The intense heat on the day side and the icy cold on the night side might make life as we know it challenging, but it also opens up possibilities for life forms to adapt to such extremes. Maybe life on this planet doesn't thrive in the traditional sense, but in some way we can't yet imagine it finds a way to exist. Now, if Proxima Centauri b does indeed have an atmosphere, it could mitigate some of these extreme temperatures, circulating heat between the two sides and perhaps creating a more habitable environment. That said, the tidal locking of the planet could make the atmosphere's stability a major factor in determining whether life could survive here. It's a delicate balance, but one that might lead to the discovery of life forms unlike anything we've ever encountered before. Stellar activity and radiation. There's no denying that Proxima Centauri b is a fascinating exoplanet, but being so close to its star as a red dwarf brings some serious challenges for its habitability. Red dwarfs like Proxima Centauri are known for their stellar activity, which includes strong solar flares and radiation bursts that can be harsh on nearby planets. So, while Proxima Centauri b is in the habitable zone, the question arises, could it withstand the intense radiation from its star? Let's dive into that. Proxima Centauri, unlike our Sun, is much smaller and cooler, but it's also far more active. It regularly emits powerful flares and radiation, which could strip away the atmosphere of a planet in the habitable zone. This radiation could bombard the surface of Proxima Centauri b, making it harder for life to exist, especially if it lacks a strong magnetic field or protective atmosphere. Imagine being in a constant battle against radiation that could fry the surface and potentially evaporate any water that might exist. It's not an easy environment to thrive in. But here's the twist. Proxima Centauri b could still have a fighting chance. If it has a thick atmosphere, much like Earth's, it could protect the surface from harmful radiation. Additionally, some scientists believe that certain life forms could adapt to these conditions, developing protective mechanisms to survive in environments with high radiation levels. After all, life on Earth has found ways to thrive in extreme conditions, from deep-sea vents to radioactive zones. The ability of Proxima Centauri b's atmosphere to withstand its star's harsh radiation will be crucial in determining whether this planet can support life, or if we're looking at a world where only the toughest organisms could survive. Scientific interest and exploration. Proxima Centauri b has certainly captured the imagination of scientists, astronomers, and space enthusiasts alike, but what's next? What are the next steps for exploring this fascinating exoplanet and uncovering its secrets? The truth is, Proxima Centauri b is a top contender in the search for habitable planets and extraterrestrial life. It's a planet that could offer us insights into the possibilities of life beyond Earth, and with the right tools and technology, it might not be as far out of reach as we once thought. So, how do we study a planet that's over 4 light-years away? With the development of advanced telescopes and new technologies, astronomers are able to gather more information about Proxima Centauri b than ever before. One of the most exciting prospects on the horizon is the use of next-generation telescopes, such as the James Webb Space Telescope, which is designed to peer deeper into space and study the atmospheres of distant planets in incredible detail. This could help scientists determine if Proxima Centauri b has an atmosphere, how thick it is, and whether it contains the necessary elements to support life. In addition to the tools we have today, future space missions could take us even closer to understanding Proxima Centauri b. There are discussions within the scientific community about sending probes to explore this distant exoplanet, though it's a massive undertaking that would take decades to accomplish with current propulsion technology. One potential mission could involve the Breakthrough Starshot Initiative, a project aimed at sending small, light-powered probes to nearby stars at a fraction of the speed we're capable of now. These probes could send back data on the planet's surface and atmosphere, dramatically enhancing our understanding of its potential habitability. While we're still in the early stages of exploration, Proxima Centauri b holds the promise of answering some of humanity's biggest questions. Is there life beyond Earth? What does a potentially habitable planet look like up close? By continuing to study this distant world, we not only expand our knowledge of the universe, but also bring ourselves one step closer to understanding our place within it. This pursuit might be the key to discovering a new world for future generations. Thanks for joining me on this journey to explore Proxima Centauri b, one of the most exciting potential habitable worlds beyond our solar system. While we still have many questions about its true nature, and whether it can support life, every discovery brings us closer to understanding our place in the cosmos. The universe is vast and full of mysteries just waiting to be uncovered. Stay curious, keep looking up, and remember, space holds endless wonders for those who seek them. And if you love discovering the secret of the universe, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more adventures. In 1924, we thought the Milky Way was the entire universe, until Edwin Hubble proved us wrong. What looked like a faint blur in the night sky was actually the Andromeda galaxy, bigger than our own and filled with over 1 trillion stars. That discovery shattered our place in the cosmos. And here's what most don't realize. Andromeda is coming. Slowly, silently, it's moving toward us, set to collide with our galaxy in a few billion years. So, how does it feel knowing the universe isn't just vast? It's in motion, and we're part of something far more epic than we imagined. Meet our galactic neighbor. There's a silent wanderer hanging in our night sky, so vast, so close, yet so quietly overlooked. You might have seen it without realizing, a faint smudge in the dark, barely noticeable to the naked eye. But that humble smudge, it's the Andromeda galaxy, the closest spiral galaxy to our own Milky Way. And it's not just a neighbor, it's a giant, bigger and more massive than our own galaxy. If you could travel at the speed of light, it would still take you over 2.5 million years to get there. That's not just distance, it's a time capsule. The light we see from Andromeda tonight actually left it during the time early humans were first learning to use tools. It's like looking through a cosmic window into the deep past. But Andromeda isn't just a relic, it's a message. A reminder that even in the vastness of the cosmos, we're not alone in the dark. Galaxies like ours aren't solitary islands floating aimlessly. We're part of a larger galactic family. And Andromeda? It's our sibling, slowly drifting closer every second. Isn't it wild that while we scroll through phones and binge-watch shows, entire galaxies are inching toward one another for a cosmic reunion? Size, distance, and visibility. Let's break down just how massive our neighbor really is. Andromeda spans about 220,000 light-years across. That's nearly double the size of the Milky Way. And within that spiraling colossus are over 1 trillion stars. Yes, trillion, with untold numbers of planets orbiting around them. Some astronomers even suggest it might contain twice the stars we have. And here's the incredible part. On a clear night, far away from city lights, you can actually see Andromeda with your own eyes. No telescope, no binoculars, just you in the night sky. What you're seeing, though faint, is the furthest object visible to the naked human eye. That fact alone makes it special, because without any tech or training, you're literally staring across time and space. Think about that. You're standing on a tiny planet, looking out across 2.5 million light-years. The light hitting your retina tonight left Andromeda when early ancestors of modern humans were first learning to stand upright. You're not just stargazing, you're time traveling. It's not just a galaxy, it's a reminder that the universe is much, much bigger than our day-to-day worries. Structure and composition. You might think galaxies all look the same, a bunch of stars swirling in space, but Andromeda? It's got some serious style. This majestic spiral galaxy has a glowing central bulge, two massive arms that twist outward, and hundreds of smaller star clusters sprinkled throughout like cosmic confetti. Scientists estimate it has over 1 trillion stars, compared to the Milky Way's 200 to 400 billion. That's 5 times more stars lighting up its structure. It even has satellite galaxies of its own, just like we have the Magellanic Clouds. Andromeda's arms aren't just starry decoration. They contain countless planetary systems, star-forming nebulae, and possibly even black holes hiding deep inside. What's fascinating is that it isn't chaotic. It's organized beauty on a scale we can barely comprehend. Even the dust lanes, those darker regions cutting across the spiral arms, are essential. They're not voids, but rich with gas that could one day form new stars. It's like Andromeda is a living, breathing structure constantly creating, evolving, changing. From its bright, dense core to the wispy edges of its arms, every part of it tells a story billions of years old. History of discovery. Long before we knew what a galaxy even was, Andromeda had already made an impression. Ancient Persian astronomers wrote about a little cloud in the sky, one that didn't twinkle like the stars. That cloud was Andromeda, and for centuries that's all anyone thought it was, a fuzzy patch in our own galaxy. Then came 1924. Edwin Hubble, yes, the guy the telescope's named after, changed everything. Using a powerful telescope, he found variable stars inside Andromeda and measured their distance. What he discovered shocked the world. Andromeda wasn't inside the Milky Way at all. It was its own separate galaxy, millions of light years away. This moment shattered our idea of the universe. Suddenly, the Milky Way wasn't the universe, it was just one galaxy in a cosmos full of them. Andromeda opened the floodgates to modern astronomy. It was the first galaxy we truly understood as being independent of our own, and it forever expanded our cosmic horizon. That fuzzy smudge? It forced us to rewrite everything we thought we knew, and in doing so, it made the universe feel both infinitely bigger and far more connected. Collision course with the Milky Way. Every second Andromeda is moving closer to us, about 68 miles per second. That means with every heartbeat, the distance between our galaxies shrinks just a little more. It's not a maybe, it's a cosmic certainty. Scientists predict that in about 4 billion years Andromeda and the Milky Way will collide. Not like a violent explosion though. Because space is so vast and stars are so far apart, most will simply drift past one another, dancing through gravity's pull. It's more of a slow-motion ballet than a demolition derby. Over time, this celestial interaction will stretch, twist, and eventually merge both galaxies into a brand new formation, Milkomeda or Milkdromeda, as some astronomers playfully call it. Earth might survive, the sun might still shine, but the night sky will change forever. If future humans or civilizations exist then, they'll look up and see skies ablaze with stars from both galaxies. It's wild to think that something as stable and constant as our galaxy is part of a much bigger story, one that's still unfolding. Our peaceful skies today? They're the calm before a magnificent billion-year storm. Possibility of life. What if we're not alone, even just one galaxy over? With over 1 trillion stars and potentially billions of planets, Andromeda might hold secrets we can't yet fathom. Some of those planets could sit in the habitable zone, the sweet spot where liquid water can exist. That's the first ingredient for life as we know it. And since Andromeda is older than the Milky Way, some of its stars have had a head start by billions of years. What if intelligent life evolved there long before humans ever lit their first fire? Or what if ancient civilizations rose and fell before we ever looked up? While we haven't found signs of life in Andromeda, we're only beginning to understand its vastness. Most of its planets are too far for us to study in detail, yet. But advancements in telescopes and interstellar tech could one day let us glimpse alien skies, distant oceans, or even civilizations waving back. Right now, it's all questions and wonder, but maybe that's the point. The search for life in Andromeda isn't just about science, it's about connection, about asking, are we really the only ones out here? The hidden skeleton of Andromeda. You can't see it, you can't touch it, but it holds everything together. Nearly 90% of Andromeda's mass is invisible, made of something scientists call dark matter. It doesn't emit light, it doesn't reflect it, and yet, it's everywhere, acting like a hidden skeleton that binds galaxies. We only know it exists because of what it does. Andromeda's stars rotate at speeds that shouldn't be possible if only visible matter existed. By all logic, those outer stars should have flung off into deep space by now, but they haven't. Something is keeping them tethered, and that something is dark matter. It's like a silent architect, shaping galaxies from the shadows. And here's what's even more fascinating. Andromeda's dark matter halo stretches far beyond its glowing arms, like an invisible shield. It might even be interacting with the Milky Way's own dark matter cloud as we speak. The more we study Andromeda, the more we realize it's not just about stars and light, it's about the unseen forces that define the universe. Think about that. Most of what exists in our closest neighbor is something we still don't understand. A cosmic transformation. As we continue to observe Andromeda, one question persists. What will happen to both galaxies once they collide? While this event is billions of years away, the concept of such a cosmic transformation is deeply intriguing. Astronomers believe that the merging of the Milky Way and Andromeda will not result in a catastrophic collision of stars. After all, space is vast, and stars are spaced far apart. Instead, it will be a slow dance of gravitational forces, causing the two galaxies to slowly stretch, twist, and eventually fuse together into a brand new galaxy. Some suggest that this new galaxy could be called Milkomeda or Milkdromeda. However, as the galaxies collide, their supermassive black holes will likely converge as well, sparking a new and intense period of star formation in the aftermath. With this collision, new stellar structures will form, possibly creating an even more magnificent cosmic display in the future sky. For life on Earth, this event may not pose any immediate threat, as the collision will unfold over millions of years. But what about future civilizations? Will they witness the collision in real time, perhaps from a planet in the new galaxy? The possibilities are endless, and the collision between Andromeda and the Milky Way is sure to redefine the very nature of the universe as we know it. It's a reminder that even the most stable elements in the cosmos are subject to change, and the future of the universe is written in the stars. And there you have it, the Andromeda Galaxy, a giant in our cosmic neighborhood with mysteries that continue to fascinate astronomers. Isn't it amazing to think about the vastness of the universe right next door? If you're as amazed by the wonders of space as we are, make sure to keep exploring with us. And if you love discovering the secrets of the universe, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more adventures with space facts.